to show you a picture here. This is the first picture from the first patent of the first cord clamp that was made. And the reason that they invented this cord clamp, and I'm trying to remember the year that it was, 1899. Prior to 1899, what would happen would be they would wait for the baby to be born, the cord would stop pulsating, they'd wait 10, 15 minutes, and then they would get thread, and they would tie it off in two places with the thread, and then they would cut it. But what would happen is there would be a couple of drops in between the two pieces of thread when they cut it, and they would stain the sheets. So this was invented to keep the sheets from being stained.
Because this, hearing that, everyone, so the whole thing was invented to keep the sheets clean.
Yeah,
no blood on the sheet.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine it was a little, they didn't have automatic washing machines back there, but it says here that the patent one, particularly here, it says that you should put it on when the cord has ceased to pulsate. The patent of the clamp says to put it on when the cord has ceased to pulsate. Well, I'll tell you, I never saw a cord cease to pulsate in my obstetrics and gynecology rotations in the United States. So that was and then since then I've learned that when you allow that cord to empty out, the placenta is basically emptying out into the baby. So when a baby's born, it's going down through a tight space. It's a pretty cool design because all that, basically decreases the volume of the baby so it can get out easier. Then after the baby is out, all that blood, which is about a third of the baby's blood that it's required to have, that it's its own blood left in the placenta, should be left to drain. But with that blood comes stem cells. And that's a really important thing. So instead of banking your stem cells for $6,000 and paying for them to be preserved in case your child gets cancer after the medical system has, injected them with anything that they're eligible for, you could just give that child the stem cells at the time. And we already know that when you look at people that are 100 years old, 110 years old, one of the keys that's known for their longevity is that their stem cells are still active. Okay, so that's how you start creating new cell lines. So that's really important if you want to live a long time, is to have a lot of stem cells. Not to mention that stem cells are anti-inflammatory. And like I said the other day, is that everything in that baby after it's born is designed to be anti-inflammatory, to keep that baby in an anti-inflammatory position. So vaccines defy that entire thing, and clamping that cord keeps a lot of that anti-inflammatory cells from going in. But the other thing is that sometimes the placenta gets stuck in the mother and it's hard to deliver. Well, one of the reasons, and I never saw this happen in Nicaragua. The placentas just came right out afterwards. And that's because when you let the blood drain out, the blood vessels and the interface between the mother and the placenta kind of shrivels up, and then it just peels off on its own. It's the design. That's how it's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to have to put your arm in there and scrape off with your fingers like I saw happen in the OBGYN rotation.